Real ID video part 2. Yes, like I was saying, imagine you gotta use a real ID to take a travel across country, not just by airplane, by air, by train, bus, and your own personal vehicle. Your own personal vehicle. That is total BS right there. And you heard what I said before in the last video. Some people can't find their original birth certificate. Some people are not able to go get their original birth certificate. And this is going to be a problem. Imagine this. You need to go see your family because they just gave you some bad news. One of your relatives has died. And that's somebody that you really cared about. And this real ID thing just totally slipped your mind. So you go to the bus stop, you get your ticket and everything, and the person you bought your ticket from, for the bus, totally slips their mind about the real ID because your shit is new. And you go to go get on the bus and everything, you show me your ticket, but the requirement, the bus driver must see your real ID. They do 2 checks. They check you twice. You say, what? I have my ID, but I don't have no real ID. You can't ride. So what do I have to do to get my real ID? Well, you got to pay this amount of money. You got to have this type of identification and that type of. But I don't know where I can get my new. And it's just a total bunch of red tape. What they're gonna do is they're gonna make it so, like I said, they're gonna landlock you economically in a state or a city you're in to really make it bad. They're gonna have checkpoints. They're gonna start to have checkpoints pretty soon. Like in Israel, they're gonna have checkpoints. Don't say, "Oh, it cannot happen." I saw it happen during the fucking riots. They did the King Alfred plan. They say that the King Alfred plan is a fiction bullshit. They implemented that shit page by fucking page. They cut off the highways. They secured the hospitals. Anything else that's a sensitive structure that they needed, they secured that shit. Especially malls where they use as HQ. The downtown Long Beach Mall was used as HQ. That was a fucking mess hall. They used the damn parking garage as a mess hall. I remember that. When things started to calm down, me and my mom walked to the Long Beach Mall to see what the fuck is going on. I mean, the air was different. Yeah, the soldiers looking at us like they want to blow our fucking brains out. Our uniform was our damn skin. And the white soldiers wanted to blow our brains out. So we had to make sure, keep our eyes straight. No freaky hand movement. Just keep pushing, keep moving. Don't even look at those fucking animals. So we made it there, went to the Cajun, which is basically Asian food. And we looked down the window. There it is. They turned the parking garage into a mess hall. And now all these soldiers, Marine Reserves and we call it National Guard, were getting their slop. Their food, I call it slop. Anyway, that's what they're going to do. And another thing they didn't tell you, in some highly sensitive neighborhoods, they did put up checkpoints. They put up these K-rails, and they had checkpoints. So don't be surprised if they start doing that shit. This place, Olympus, is falling. They're getting scared. They're getting desperate. They're doing all sorts of shit. Me, I live up here in the high desert, Victorville, California. A lot of sensitive government institutions up here. They test a lot of shit up here. One time, they shut everybody's cell phone off. They said, oh, it was a glitch. No, they wanted to test out to see if this worked. They shut everybody's cell phone off. Guess what? The landlines didn't work. So my godmother had to get rid of her fucking landline. She said, what's the point in keeping it if, during an emergency, it doesn't fucking work. So she got rid of that shit. And yeah, everybody was outside wondering, what the hell is going on? What they did, they're just doing the test to see when things get hot, can they shut everybody's cell phone off so nobody can communicate? Why? If you remember Omar Gaddafi, the fiasco that happened there with America's motherfucking interference, the people who toppled them, what they were using, they said it right on air. They said around the TV, they were using social media. They're using Facebook and all sorts of social media. They're using real-time GPS maps, which you can't get those anymore. They don't work like that anymore. And the word to text, it worked beautifully. Yeah, like I said, they're using real-time maps and all that shit. And that scared this piece of shit government. So they want to make it so what happened to Gaddafi can't happen to them. So they could just shut off all communications. Just like that. So now you got to use two-way radios now. So yes, all that shit they make fun of other countries about visas and all that shit. They're doing the same thing with this damn real ID. And plus, you got the algorithms now to the point. If you say something they deem sensitive, especially on Facebook or on Instagram or something like that, they erase your shit. And if they mark you as a person of interest or a threat, anything you say, they will erase it. Like me, all I did was I was talking about coffee. And I recommended my video to some people who have basically, there's this guy, he has a video where he shows, how he makes coffee. He does it very fancy. He's got the press. He's got the, espresso machine and all that, expensive shit. And there's one guy that typed in and said, hey, I'm from Cuba. We don't have equipment like that. Do you have anything that we could adapt to, something that we can use? So I have a video called Mocha Espresso with Orange Zest, and which I use a regular little mocha espresso, the regular little pot, And I suggested that to him. And guess what? Piece of shit YouTube erased that motherfucker. I'm trying to send medical information, video medical information to a certain person by the name of Hoffman, because I don't want anything. I just like to help. I figured this information will help him. YouTube and these pages keep blocking me from sending anything to him. And it's annoying. They're literally intercepting my messages and erasing them or analyzing them, see if it's a sensitive information. Oh, what does this word mean? Maybe this word's a code. Bullshit like that. I'm an open book. I don't do no cloak and dagger. I'm like Billy Jack. I'm going to take my right foot and hit you on the right side of your fucking face. You're going to say, no, you can't do it, and I'll do it. That's how I am. And they're fucking with me like this, and they're going to be fucking with you like that. You're probably noticing weird shit when you do a word to text. You look at your text, and there's a word missing, or they interject some words because the algorithm or the AI is trying to anticipate what you're saying or trying to correct what you're saying, and it's annoying. It puts in shit that should not be in there. I remember one time I sent somebody, lucky I checked it. I sent a very respectable person a paragraph, a message. And guess what? Lucky I checked it. It had a whole bunch of obscenities in it. And I didn't say that shit. And this is the type of shit people talk about. People think, oh, you're going crazy. That's because you ain't doing shit. You just do your little meager life and everything, like Neo when he's on, before it became Neo, just mundane shit. Nobody's thinking about you. But if they think you're doing something like me, I'm a black creator, content creator. And I provide my, my 2 cents and everything. And I'm a part of the grassroots, FBA. Proud FBA. And they don't like that shit. They consider us a threat. As well as they should, because we did set the world on fire. Yeah. Over the counter with a shotgun. Pretty soon, everybody's got one. Yeah, damn right. That's us. Because our inventions keeps this society going. Our inventions, you don't know, it's Central and South America, you are using FBA inventions. Unless you live out in the sticks. It trickles down to you guys and the rest of the world. The Subway, created by T. Woods, who sued Edison for trying to steal his shit. William Latimer, who helped with the light bulb to make it last longer. Anyway, side note, you can look all this up yourself. Now the white nationalists are so butthurt they're trying to do this shit. Oh, that doesn't exist. Well, dumbass. That's like you stepping in front of Godzilla and saying, hey, I don't believe you're Godzilla. Godzilla looks like, why? Because Godzilla's white. And then Godzilla moves his toe and crushes your ass. You don't believe, you are letting your racism and your social disease cloud your better judgment, idiot. Anyway, and that's who's running the country. High-functioning, racist, white autistics. They're narcissistic. They are deceitful. They are, we call it, they have OCD. They are very, very deceptive, which is why, Donald was easily persuaded. Unfortunately, he's supposed to be a Gemini. And every serial killer was a high-functioning autistic. Not all high-functioning are killers, but they got those qualities. They're deceptive, narcissistic, they have OCD, and they always gravitate, majority of them, around race issues, because many of them have low self-esteem, and they want to feel better than somebody. They want to feel special. I want to be special. I'm a creep. I'm a real sappy, pathetic, bitch-ass fucks like they were in high school. The ones that say some stupid, outlandish shit with like Tourette's and everything. Then why the fuck you say that? And everything, man, get the fuck out of me. You're scaring the girls. Dumb motherfuckers. You slap upside the head, keep them from getting to their lunch because it's so fucking annoying. They just say dumb shit. They don't research. Man, why the fuck you say something that stupid, dude? Come on. Yeah, hey, get the hell away from me before you get slapped. And the women who are like that, even worse. Oh my God, those booger eaters. Like the one that's on Piers Morgan's show. She likes to say the N-word all the time, but I bet you she was a girl nobody wanted to sit next to on the bus because she stank. She looked like she stinks. She's one of those girls that couldn't help but, we call it, play with themselves all the time. They just couldn't keep their hands on. They got stinky fingers because they're playing with themselves all the time. Sometimes they eat their fucking boogers. And they have the nerve to look at you and say, hey, could you sit next to me? And you look around in the bus and you say, oh my God, every seat is full. And everybody's looking at you, snickering and laughing. Oh, damn. And you sit next to them, and then they start grabbing on you. Yeah, that's what that bitch is. And that Shiloh chick. They're the nasty girls that eat their fucking boogers, you know? Now that they look halfway decent, somebody jumps up and down on them. But there's still the girls that say, and they say stupid shit. Now that they're grown and I think they look halfway decent, they could buy their blonde hair from a fucking bottle. They're still the same dumb, nasty bitches. You know, they're nasty. And that nastiness comes out into their, their actions. You want the right to cuss out a disabled child? What type of shit is that? I can see if it was an adult and everything. Because if that was me when I was that kid's age and everything, I would have just called her a honky. You know, she's calling me a nigger and all that. I called her the honky. You know what would have happened? That bitch would have raised her hand up and get ready to slap my little 5-year-old ass. And guess what would have happened? My mom would block her fucking hand and proceed to mollywop her ass. My mom back then, she looked like Halle Berry. And stomp the fuck out of her with her damn wedges. And the cops would let her get away with it. Because my mom is just charming as fuck. She's a science fiction writer. She had the gift of gab. Everybody loved her. Including racist motherfuckers respected her. And the cops would look at her and say, hey, what's going on? They said, this bitch tried to slap my son. He's only 5 years old. He's got hyperkinesis syndrome, which is what they call ADHD back then. And the cops, since, the civil rights movement was still going on in 75, that shit was still going on. So they'll look at her and say, oh, because she's good on the eyes. She got the knockers and everything. She's dressed to impress. They'd say, oh, okay, Miss Johnson, we're sorry, but... And then proceed to chastise the other woman for starting shit. And probably arrest her ass. Sorry, Miss Johnson, the shabby, you can move along. Just write a statement, what this dumb bitch did. How dare you, stupid bitch? That is a disabled child. Apologize to him. She got to apologize and shit. That's what would have happened back in the day. But now, you got the lunatics running the insane asylum. Yeah, so a lot of shit's happening. And that damn real ID, it's just a photo visa. And I'm sad that everybody's falling for it. I mean, what's next? Bad enough we got to take our shoes off. We go to the airport. What's next? We got to totally disrobe and put on hospital gowns to get on the plane. That's what's coming next. Some dumbass is going to literally shove high explosive Semtex up his rectum to the point it fills his stomach. And then push a button and bang. Now we're going to have fucking ultrasounds to scan us before you get on the plane. And wear hospital fucking gowns. It's going to be like Con Air. That's how they're going to treat you soon. They're not going to trust anybody getting up because somebody could get up and say, oh, this is a hijacking. They go, oh, you got to be strapped down to your seat. Don't move unless you ask. And you're going to be escorted by an air sheriff. You think of that shit. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be escorted to the bathroom. You're going to be watching as you shit and piss. Wipe your ass. Then escorted back to your damn seat and locked in. And everybody, like sheep, is going to accept that bullshit. It's falling down, man. My God, Olympus is beyond falling. Olympus is in the gutter, getting ass fucked by a stray dog. But, who am I? I'm just little old George. The Quizarts Hatterack, which stands for my intellect. Mantis shrimp, which symbolizes, yes, my physical abilities. Yes, I could do that shit the mantis shrimp does, the peacock mantis shrimp. Yes, I could do. Yes, I do hit that fucking hard. Yes, I do. And I pay a high price for it. Your whole body gets put to shock when you do that shit. I figured out the physics and the science to it. This little old brain, special ed education, figured it out. And I want to go and teach that to a few. Side note, my best buddy Stitch, best detective. And I'm done. Mantis shrimp, Quizarks Hatterack out. And may God have mercy on our souls. It's going to be some crazy shit, people. Check out this movie, you call it The Man Who Saw Tomorrow with Orson Welles, and my video, Secrets of Black American Ethnicity, Part 1. It explains why this so-called 13% does so much. And read the descriptions. Read the source material. YouTube doesn't want you to see it. And okay, that's that. Like Stanley would say, Excelsior. Hope I'm saying that right.